selfish. 'Cause ever since we went our separate ways, she been the same, and I swear you're so childish. 'Cause even when we try to work it out, it never lasts. 'Cause nigga, you so toxic. And now I got another nigga that's gon' hold it down. Told you, baby, I got options. Because of you,
I really don't care how I look. I'm just gonna get straight into the video. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting me. Everyone who's been supporting my story, supporting me, sharing it, everything. Like, I did not expect for my story to blow up like this. Like, it's just crazy, y'all. But I'm going to get straight into the video because y'all have been waiting and I have been waiting to post it. So, yeah. And if y'all want to know, like, anything else about me, which I am going to speak about in another video, like, I'm going to speak about everything from the beginning to the end. But right now, specifically, the topic is the pregnancy because that's what everyone wants to know about. So, yeah. If you want to know more about me, stay tuned to the next videos because, yeah, once I'm looking better, feeling better, I'll do that. But let's get straight into it. When was it? When I found out I was pregnant, it was in December. I found out I was pregnant in December. So yeah, I found out I was pregnant in December, and the first person I texted was my stepmom. When I texted her, I was basically texting her like for advice because I obviously wanted to keep the baby, but I knew how my mom was, and I knew that she wasn't going for none of that. So I was just like trying to get advice on what should I do, like, I don't know. Basically trying to get advice from her. I was trying to get advice because I didn't know what to do. I knew my mom was gonna be on BS, and I just like, I knew, well, I felt like that I could trust her with something like that because I didn't want to tell anyone else. So she was basically, I can't remember like what all she told me because this was last year, but she was basically like, I don't know, basically asking me what do I want to do, like basically telling me that it was my decision and it was up to me. I was the mother at the time, so like it wasn't really up to anyone else. And then she started telling me about some abortion clinics and stuff, and I really didn't care for that, but I listened because I did ask her for advice, but that's not what I was asking for advice for. So after a while, she was basically like, you need to tell someone, you need to talk to somebody. So she was like, tell your sister. So I told my sister, and then I ended up in a group chat. Everyone knew. So I was just like, bro, like, okay. So I told my cousin, my sister, and my other sister, because we were all in the group chat together. So we were talking about it, and it was basically like, I don't know, I could tell that they didn't want me to go along with it, but they was basically like saying the same thing my stepmom said. And it was like, it's your decision, it's up to you. Like, you're pregnant, that it's up to you, nobody else. So I'm like, okay, cool. So they all ended up coming over there. We all ended up agreeing to them coming over to my mom's house to have a talk. So they all ended up coming over there and talking to my mom. And they ended up making me tell her. And I'm like, no, this is not what y'all came over here for. I didn't want to tell her. Y'all was going to help me. Like, I was so scared to tell my mom. Like, I really did not want to tell her. For one, because I didn't want to break her heart. But at the same time, I knew that she was going to, like, flip. So I finally told her. And she was just like, huh, so you think you finna, have a baby in my house? And I was like, what do you want me to do? I'm not gonna like kill my baby. And she was like, well, you're not gonna have no baby in my house. If you think that, then you might as well go ahead and go. Like, you can't stay in my house with no baby. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't even argue with that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll go. I'm not finna kill my baby. That's dead. So after that, she let me leave with my cousin, and I stayed the night at her house. Then the next morning, she made me come back. And she was basically like, can't focus. So I'm trying not to look at my phone. But she was basically like, no, you gotta come back. You're not gonna be out here like that. But you're not gonna have that baby in my house. I'm like, what? You sound so stupid. What do you mean I have to come back, but I'm not gonna have the baby in your house? I don't have to come back. Like, that's just how I felt at the moment. I don't have to come back if you're just gonna feel that way about me having a baby. Like, I did not want to do that. That's messed up, and she knew that. So I ended up going back. She talked to me and was like, if you don't she just, like, I don't know, my mom is the type, when she doesn't like anything, she's gonna harass you about it. So she was just like, if you don't get rid of the baby, then I'm gonna file a rape charge on your boyfriend. Mind y'all, my boyfriend 18, I'm 17. How is that rape? My boyfriend, something that I was willing to do with my boyfriend, how is that rape? So when she said that, I'm like, you can't even do that. Like, you can't even do that. That's a whole lie. Like, I'm just gonna tell them that's a lie. And as I was telling her that, she was just like, she was saying some whole other BS. And I'm like, dude, this lady is crazy. Like, I didn't know what to say after that. Like, I don't know. So I told his mom, and she didn't want me to have the abortion at first. Like, she cried. She didn't want me to go through with the abortion at first. But then when I told her about what my mom said, she was basically like the same thing that I was on, because my mom was like not bagging out of filing a rape charge on my boyfriend. And when she was like threatening me with all of this other stuff, I'm like, if she do that, then he's gonna get in trouble. He's not even gonna be able to be around me and the baby. He's gonna be locked up. Like, I didn't want none of that. So I just went along with it. So so after his mom had told me to go, like, she didn't want her son going through none of that, but she also didn't want me to have the abortion, but just do it so we didn't have to go through any of that. That's what made me like just give in. Like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna try to fight this woman anymore about my child. So I just said, okay, I'm going to get it. And my mom was mad about that. She was like, so now that she's saying something, you're going to get the abortion, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're sick. Like, none of that matters right now. You don't care. Like, why does that even matter? So the appointments come up, and I'm still like thinking like, nah, I'm not trying to go through with this. And I'm telling my mom that. I just kept telling her I'm not trying to go through with it, and she didn't care. Like, the day I went to the what was it? It wasn't a doctor's. It was like a woman's hospital. Yeah, I went to the women's hospital, and I had an appointment twice. I can't remember if I had one before the abortion or after. Yeah, I had to go there before I got the abortion. Then I had to make another appointment. And on the way to the last appointment, like where I was getting the abortion done, I'm like, I don't want to go through with it. And she's like, well, if you don't go through with this, we gonna lose our bond. We'll never talk again. Our relationship will never be the same. And I'm like, that's my mama. I don't want to go through none of that with her. And that shit was already like breaking my heart. So I just didn't say nothing after that. Alright, my bad, y'all. All right, so when I got there, they had called me back there, and the lady was like, um, I think she had asked if I wanted my mom to come back there, and I was like, no. But the lady, when I got back there, we was in a separate room, and the lady was like basically, are you being forced? And before that, I had saw a sign out there. Like the first time I had went to the appointment, I had saw a sign that said, like basically, if you're being forced to have an abortion, call this number. There was a number for me to call, but all of the stuff that my mom was putting in my head, I'm thinking that she could actually like get him in trouble for real, because she kept saying I can actually get him in trouble. So I'm like, that's going to be pointless to call and even try to put him through any of that, because like she's still going to get him in trouble regardless. So I didn't even think to call the number after that. But anyways, when I was there, the lady was like, are you being forced? And I was like, no. I just kept answering her questions like no, because my mom told me to just say no to everything. Like if she asked me if I was being forced or anything, she told me to tell her no. So I just kept telling her no, and she was like basically asking me like, are you serious? Like, is this really what you want to do? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I didn't want her to keep asking me questions, because then I was gonna, no, this is not what I want to do. Like, so I just kept saying, yeah, this is what I want to do, like, just to get it over with. So she talked to me, and she asked me like what type of birth control would I like to be on after that. Then she gave me a bag, and the bag had a Plan B in it. It had pills for the cramps after I had took the abortion pills, and then it had the abortion pills in it. And she had gave me 4 pills at first. Then she had gave me 4 more pills and was like, sometimes it don't work, so if these 2 don't work, take 2 more. And then yeah, so we got home. We left the abortion clinic. We left the abortion clinic. That's what it was. Abortion clinic. We left the abortion clinic, and we went home. Then we got home, and we're like reading a book on how I'm supposed to take the pills. And one way was to put it in your mouth, put 2 pills in your mouth and let it dissolve for like 30 minutes. Then the other way was to stick it up your vagina and like let it dissolve in there. And I didn't want to do that, because I didn't even think that would work. And then on top of that, I'm not finna put that up my vagina. So I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to try to do the 2 pills in your mouth where it dissolve. So I told my mom I was gonna do that one. I kid y'all not. This lady stood in the room with me the whole 30 minutes, and it didn't even take them 30 minutes to dissolve. It took them a little longer than 30 minutes. She sat in the room with me the whole 30 minutes just to watch it go down, just to make sure I didn't spit it out. I'm like, yo, this lady is crazy. Like, even if I wanted to spit it out, I really could not. Like, I couldn't do anything. I went to the bathroom, she was right there. I wanted to go downstairs, she was right there. Like, I couldn't do anything with those pills in my mouth. So I just laid there while she laid there watching me. Then, like, I laid down. I can't remember how long it said it would take for the pills to work, but all I know is they didn't work when I put them in my mouth. So I let her know. Well, she actually asked me, and I was like, no, it didn't work. So no, it was in the middle of the night. She woke me up. She asked me if I was feeling anything, because they said that I would feel like pain in my stomach and I would have like blood clots. So she woke me up in the middle of the night and asked me if I was feeling any of those symptoms or whatever you want to call it. And she was like, and I was like, no, like I'm not cramping at all. Like I was bleeding very little and I was cramping very little, but it wasn't as bad as they said it was supposed to be. So again, she said she made me, we had to do the vagina part, because obviously the two in the mouth didn't work, so we had to put two up there. And she stayed right there with me the whole time. She like made me squeeze down there so it would go up. Like, I don't know, she was being yeah, being she was being weird the whole time. So after that, I put my pad back on, I laid down, then I just fell asleep. Then the next morning I had a game. Yeah, the next morning I had school and we had a game that day. So I get up and I'm like, yo, I feel something. And it didn't feel like they did tell me that I was gonna have big blood clots, but it didn't feel like no blood clot. Like, it felt like, I don't know, it felt weird. Like, it just felt like something just dropped out of me. So I go to the bathroom and I put my pants down. I put my shorts down because I had on shorts. I go to the bathroom and I put my shorts down. And I like look on my pad. I look down and there's the baby. I'm like, is this really like the baby? It was the baby under like 4 big old blood clots. I posted the picture on my Instagram, but I'll also, if I can, I'll insert it in the YouTube. I don't know how to do all of that yet, but if I can, I will. But if I can't, I'll post my I'll post my Instagram down below so you guys can see. There was the baby under like big old blood clots, and I'm like, this cannot be for real, because my mom told me that I wasn't even like forming, that I wasn't pregnant for real, because I kept telling her I'm not about to kill no innocent child, and she was like, you're not even pregnant for real, there's no baby in you. So that's another reason, like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking none of this. I didn't think that I was gonna see a baby on my pad when I had the abortion done. So I just like dropped down to my knees and I'm like, this cannot be happening right now. Like, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I said it over and over and over again with the baby in my hand. Like, I didn't know what to do, because I didn't know that the baby was gonna come out like that. Like, nobody told me that the baby was gonna come out like that. So I stood in the shower and cause like everything just started dropping. I stood in the shower because like blood clots just started running down my leg, like blood and blood clots, so much. So I stood in the shower and like, I don't know if it was like the rest of like from the baby, I don't know what it was, but it was just a big old blood clot. Like, I can't do it with my fingers right now, I can't even see. Yeah, about this big, that fell out of me in the toilet. I was shaking, like I didn't know what to do. I'm thinking it's still the baby coming out of me, like the baby parts coming out of me. I didn't know what to do. Like, I just started shaking. I didn't know what to do. So after I got out the shower, I went downstairs to my mom and I was like, you didn't tell me that the baby was gonna come out of me like that. Like, if you would have told me that, I would have never ever went through with that. I don't care what anyone says, I would have never went through with that. If y'all would have told me that the baby was gonna like I wouldn't have went through with that. That is so sick. Like, I don't know. So I went downstairs and I told her, and she was like, it wasn't even a baby, you wasn't like that pregnant for real. Mind y'all, when I went to the doctors, they told me that I can't remember how many weeks, but I know I was 2 months pregnant for sure. So I'm like, there is no way that there's no baby and I'm this far along. Like, if you would have told me that, I would have never gotten this done. So she was like, there wasn't no baby, you fine, blah blah blah. I don't know, she was just being a bitch. So I start crying and I go back upstairs. She was like, let me see. So I went upstairs, I took a picture and I showed her, and she was like, like, you can tell that she like felt bad but just didn't care. Like, I don't know, the whole situation is so messed up because you could tell that she felt bad but didn't care that she just made me murder my whole child. Like, I don't know. So after that, I just went back upstairs to get dressed, to get my backpack because I was already dressed. Then I walked down to the bus and I'm like just crying. I'm so sad. Like, I don't know. That day was terrible for me because when I got to school, I had threw up some yellow stuff. I don't even know what it was. I threw up yellow stuff. Then I had to like boo-boo really bad. Like, it was so bad. Like, I thought I was dying. Like, I felt I was in so much pain that day. Like, and she still made me go to school. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, that day, the same day, I had a game. And when I went to my game, I'm the type to not, I'm the type to like try to not show that I'm hurting. Like, if I still want to do something, I'm gonna try to, like, what am I trying to say? I'm gonna not try to show that I'm hurting, if you get what I'm saying. So, because the doctors, the abortion clinic, they had told me that I wasn't supposed to like cheer or anything after that. But I was so like messed up after that. Like, I didn't even think about what the doctors had said. So I was sad. I was still upset, but like I was still like able to cheer. Like, I was still trying to cheer. Then out of nowhere, during the game, I was cheering and it just hit me. Like, I just started cramping so bad again. Then I just got so emotional out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. I had to ask if I could sit down because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. That day was so emotional for me because, for one, after the baby had came out, I didn't know what to do with the baby. She told me to flush the baby, but what do I look like? I thought at the moment, what do I look like flushing my baby? So I took it off the pad because if you can see, you can tell that it was like wrapped in a, I don't know what it's called. It was wrapped around the baby was wrapped around something clear. Then I had bursted that and I had took the baby out and put it on a pad. I mean, not on a pad. I had put it on a napkin. And I folded the napkin around the baby and I put the baby in my drawer because I wanted to come home. So I didn't want that to be I don't know if that's weird, but I didn't want that to be the last time that I had saw my child because I was literally going to have to flush that baby that I didn't even know that was going to come out. Like, I did not want to flush it because I don't know. So instead of flushing the baby, I put the baby in my drawer until I got home from school. And I got home and I took the baby out. And I just was staring and I just broke down because I'm like, how can your parent really sit here and make you murder your child and not feel any type of way about that? Like, the whole situation is sick. So, long story short, because I have been talking for a minute, After that, after a while, she put me out, and I was staying with my friend for a while. But then she started playing, so I had ended up having to go to my boyfriend's house, and his parents didn't even know that I was staying there. Like, they had cameras everywhere. His parents didn't even know that I was staying there. And I was staying there for like, I can't remember how many months, but I was staying there for months, and I didn't get to see daylight in those amount of months that I was staying there. I did not get to see daylight at all. So the whole time I was there, I didn't have a job or anything, so it's not like I had any money to just get out and get my own place. So when I finally had to leave from his place, I ended up calling my uncle, which I was literally just staying with him. If you was on my live, you knew about that. If you don't, then I'll speak about it right here, right now in this video. Yeah, so I had ended up having to move with my uncle, and they was cool with me staying there. Then my boyfriend had ended up coming to stay there with us. Not like live there, but he was staying there, like coming every day, and he would leave, like sometimes he would leave late at night and sometimes he would stay. So it's not like he was living there, because he did have his own house. So we was staying there. I was staying there for like almost a year. Then like 2 weeks before my birthday, my uncle texted me saying that he was gonna need the room for his daughter that's pregnant, because like she needs somewhere to stay. Mind y'all, she has a whole house with her mom. She's 15 years old. He told me not to come in there with the baby, but you're bringing your 15-year-old daughter in here and putting me out. Like, I don't know, none of that made sense to me. So I'm like, okay, cool, I gotta find something to do. So I texted my sister and asked her if I could stay there. She said yes. Then a couple days later, text her again, she started ghosting me. Y'all know how that go. So when all of that was going on, I was still trying to find somewhere to go, but at the same time, I'm like, she's not just gonna let me be out here on the street. She know I don't have nowhere to go. So before my birthday, like before the day of my birthday, I had asked my uncle if my boyfriend could come stay over there, come stay the night over there, since it was the last day that I was going to be there and I didn't have nowhere to go. And he said yes. Mind you, they're out of town. My granny had to come in that day to wash the house, even though she thought that she was going to babysit me. She came in to wash the house. Whole time she was really there for me. So I told her that my uncle said that he could come in, and she was like, no, I ain't even talked to him, he didn't say that. So I texted him again, and I'm like, can you call her so we can go in the house? Because we was outside all day. Like, she would not let us in. For whatever reason, they don't like him, so that's why they were acting like that. But she was lying the whole day, basically. Like, she just wanted us to be outside. She didn't want us to come in. So I got frustrated, and I'm like, my uncle just told me that he talked to you and you said something totally different. You told him that I could come in, but he can't. And I'm like, cool, but it's my birthday and my uncle told me that he could come stay. So I don't feel that that's right, that you should be acting like that towards both of us. Because, like, I don't know, it was my birthday and I really wanted him to stay. So I said, you know what, I'm just so done with this family. Like, all of this stuff been going on. Y'all always been treating me like this, so I'm just gonna call the police on y'all. So I left the house and I called the police. The police was like, yeah, I do see the messages where he did say that he could stay, but you're about to be 18 now, so it's really up to you. So I told him, I was just like, whatever. Because, like, police are no help. They're no fucking help at all whatsoever. They're no help. He was just like, you're gonna be 18. Is really nothing I can do. It's really up to you. So we ended up staying the night in his car. Then the next morning, I had called my sisters. No, they texted me. They called me, actually. Yeah, they called me and was like, so what's going on? And I basically told them what was going on. Then they tried to like say, well, Quee, you can't get mad because everybody been trying to help you, but it's like every time we try to help you, you bullshit us. Like everything that you did in the past, you was bullshitting us. So it's like nobody want to help you right now. Mind y'all, I'm outside sleeping in the car on my birthday. All of the shit that she's talking about was in the past. It was about in the past. So none of that really mattered at the moment. Like if I wasn't doing any of that at the moment, none of that really mattered. Like it really didn't. That's why I feel like that was messed up on their end, because none of that matters. All of that is in the past. If I'm not acting this way towards y'all now, then I felt like y'all should have gave me a chance, being though I was outside. So they wasn't being no help. So I called my dad. They told me to call my dad. So I called my dad, asked him if I could stay. He wasn't going. So then my boyfriend tried to talk to him. He tried to get mad at my boyfriend. They got into it. So my boyfriend's cousin had to talk to him. And he was basically like, well, I've been in this situation before, so I can really see where she's coming from. But you also have to put yourself in my shoes. Like, he was basically saying that my dad was going to need us one day. He was going to need me one day. My dad going to holler out, no, I ain't going to need her. That's what I got my other daughters for. That's what I got other women for. Like, what? Like what? How am I supposed to feel after you say stuff like that? Like, I don't know, y'all. It's so much that goes on that I can't even like really like focus on one thing to talk about right now in this video. Like, it's so much that this family has put me through, and I'm not going to say that I didn't do anything, because I was a kid. We all made mistakes. I'm grown now. I'm trying to grow up. Like, none of that matters. The fact that I'm trying to grow up and be a bigger person, be grown, be an adult, that's the only thing that should matter to them. And that's what they fail to realize. So that's why I feel like they fucked up on their part. But yeah, basically all of that happened. I had nowhere to stay. I had nowhere to go. Me and my sisters got into it. My granny cut my phone off. My dad said he didn't want me around his girlfriend, my little sister. Like, it's just a whole bunch of BS. I don't know. That's my story, and I felt like I wanted to put that out there because I know that there's people out there that's going through like similar things as me. Even if you're not going through what I'm going through, like the exact thing that I'm going through, if you need anybody to talk to, you can literally talk to me. I'll put my Instagram down below so y'all can DM me, ask me questions, whatever, because I'm willing to talk to whoever. I really want this story to like end up somewhere, because I don't want nobody else to have to go through none of this. It wasn't fair to me, and it wasn't fair to my boyfriend, because damn, if y'all messed up something for me in the future, like basically affect me having babies, then that's just going to be a whole different story for me to talk about, because it was like I got pregnant and now can't get pregnant. I don't know, but yeah, I really do appreciate the support. When I'm feeling better, looking better, then I'll make a video about my life and everything else. But right now, that was the topic. Everyone wanted to know about that, so I felt like I should speak on that. Again, thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Bye.